What is up, everybody? Ben Gothard here, founder and CEO of Gothard Enterprises, author of CEO at 20, a little book for big dreams. So today, I want to talk a little bit about predicting the future as entrepreneurs. Now, I got really excited about this because I was recently listening to an interview of Elon Musk, and he is an entrepreneur that truly inspires me to be better and do better. And he's kind of likened to a modern day Iron Man, or a real life Iron Man, and it's cool. I think that Elon Musk is just truly brilliant. And one of the things that he was saying was that his whole purpose in life is not to be a savior for people, right? He doesn't want to save the world, and he doesn't want to be a savior for people. But he said at the core of what he does, he's just trying to figure out the future and solve problems in the future and be happy. And I thought that was so powerful, and it was such a powerful message, hearing from somebody who, not only is he a billionaire, but he runs different companies, right? He has SpaceX, he has Tesla, he has a few other different companies, and just to hear that was powerful, and it was moving, right? Because as entrepreneurs, a lot of what we do is problem solve and figure out how we can provide value to other people. And one of the ways that I think we can provide value is by predicting the future, right? Looking into the future and saying, okay, what problems are we going to have? What problems are we already having? Where are there similarities between the two, and how can I create either a product or a service or a software or something that can help to solve that problem, right? And it may be solving the problem before the problem ever even occurs, right? It may be preventing a problem before that problem shows up. But as entrepreneurs, if we're not cognizant about this, if we're not looking for these problems, and if we don't have our eyes and our ears open, then we're not really opening ourselves up to opportunity. And if we're not opening ourselves up to opportunity, then we won't know when there's going to be a shift in the world, right? So whether that be in a specific industry, right? Like if you're in marketing, and let's say specifically Facebook marketing, and you foresee Facebook changing some algorithm, or let's say you're an SEO specialist and you foresee Google changing how its internal ranking system works, right? So these are problems that you can foresee. Or it could be something as simple as, okay, I know that the widespread movement of mosquitoes is going to increase, and so West Nile virus is going to be more widespread. So I'm going to come up with a more effective vaccine to combat that, right? There's any number of ways that looking into the future and trying to solve these problems can help, right? Because if we're on the leading forefront of this fight to really solve the world's problems, then that's how we can provide an extreme amount of value to a lot of people, right? And so as we're going about doing our things, and we're learning about our industry, we're learning about ourselves, we're learning about the world, predicting the future is part of it, right? The more we learn about what has already happened, and the more we're immersed in one industry, one niche, we'll kind of have our finger on the pulse, and we'll be able to see, or at least predict reasonably well, where that's going to go, right? So, I'll give you an example. In my life, I write books. I currently have 15 published, and I do a lot of publishing through Amazon, right? And so I think that this wave of self-publishing is only going to increase, right? Because as the internet becomes more widespread, as Amazon gets bigger, as people start to learn more and just have more access to tools and resources, I think a lot more people are going to realize that they can publish a book themselves, and they don't need to go through a traditional publishing house, right? And so that is just one example of, I'm trying to look forward into the future, and I care about publishing. because that's something that I do. I'm a self-published author, and so I have my finger a little bit more on the pulse than on something else, say clean energy, right? Just because I'm not as close to that, so I can see a little bit further. At least I have a prediction of what's going to happen with self-publishing. Now, think of yourself in your industry, right? Where do you see the industry going? What sort of opportunities exist for you, right? So to go back to the self-publishing example, a lot more people are going to need covers. They're going to need editors. They might need transcription services. They might need somebody to just help them with their marketing, right? Because when you self-publish a book, it doesn't just automatically sell, right? You have to set up your marketing channels. And one of the other entrepreneurs that inspires me is Stefan Palernos, and he talks about having a Parthenon, right? A business Parthenon, where you have like your roof, and then which is your product, and then you have all these different marketing columns supporting it, right? So he says like 7 or 8 marketing columns. So I truly think that, right? You get one channel down, and you get your traffic from that channel. You optimize, make sure you're profiting from that channel, and then you can move on and build up your whole Parthenon. But just as far as looking into the future goes, that's just one example, right? That's one example that I can speak a little bit about because it's more relevant to me, but I just wanted to use that as an example to demonstrate the point of predicting the future. It will allow you to profit and to capitalize on opportunity, right? So one of the takeaways from this is a story that I heard about the gold rush, right? And this story was, I was reading this on a blog or something, and basically what the premise was that all these gold miners are coming and they're digging for gold, and some of them will hit it really rich, some of them will never hit it, and some will get a little bit of gold and whatnot. So there's just a huge fluctuation in income and in success with the gold rush. Now, despite how much gold people are finding, the one person or the one type of person or business that is always going to succeed is the individual selling shovels to all the gold miners, right? Because they're not dependent on whether or not the industry as a whole is going up. They're dependent on just selling shovels to people, right? They're giving people the tools to dig for gold themselves. And so if you have your mind on a certain problem or certain industry, then you might be able to foresee the next gold rush coming. And so then you can either decide, okay, I want to go and be one of those gold miners, I want to be on the frontier, or I want to sell shovels, right? You could sell shovels, you could sell buckets, whatever the analogy works for your industry. Take that as you will, but just think about the implications of that, right? You don't always have to be the one who is out there in the trenches. You could be the person selling the tools, or you could be the person providing the insurance. Back to the gold rush example. Let's say that the people started to realize how dangerous it was to go out and mine, right? Because there could be explosions, there could be avalanches, rock slides, and so you might not want to sell shovels, but you can sell insurance. So you could sell insurance to the people who are gold mining that says, if you get hurt, I'll pay you a certain amount. And so if you just approach the problem from all these different perspectives by foreseeing it, predicting it, and thinking about it and brainstorming on it, then you can figure out ways to capitalize on it. And you can find ways to take advantage of those opportunities. And so the whole point, the takeaway of what I wanted to talk about today was just that you don't have to be stuck where you are, right? You don't have to be stuck doing what you're doing. If you're predicting the future and you're trying to solve problems that are coming, or problems that you see a certain industry going towards, then you can either pivot your business or start your business or grow your business and expand your business into different territories, right? So to go back to what I was talking about earlier with Elon Musk, one of the side projects he's doing is building underground tunnels. And he was talking about how in Los Angeles the traffic is horrendous, and so he wanted to get rid of all these get rid of all this traffic by building underground tunnels. And you basically drive your car to a spot, it lowers you down, and then it takes you on this certain track. Well, he was saying that the tunnels are the solution to traffic because you can always keep digging down. And one tunnel might not solve it, but if you have 10, 20, 30, 40 tunnels, then that can solve all the traffic in that spot. And so the interviewer was then asking him, okay, well, why are you focusing your attention on tunnels when you have Tesla and SpaceX and all these other things? And Elon Musk was saying, well, the beauty of Tesla is that it gives us the ability to make driving very cheap, to put more people on the road and to really share the car, because you can go to work and then send your car to go Uber people or drop people off or do this, that, and the other thing completely automated. So at that point, it's going to be a lot cheaper, according to Musk, to put cars on the road. Therefore, there's going to be a lot more people driving, or cars on the road if the cars are driving themselves. And so he foresaw that with all those extra cars, there's going to be a lot more traffic. So he's predicting the future. He's solving problems that he's going to create by solving other problems. So he's brilliant, by the way. I mean, that is just a brilliant concept to solve a problem, recognize a new problem that solving the old problem is going to create, and then solve that problem too, right? And so it is just extraordinary to really get into his mindset and try to understand and wrap my brain around it, and hopefully you can wrap your brain around it too, and give some insight into your own business. But I just wanted to talk about predicting the future as entrepreneurs, because I think it is really important, right? Because if we aren't at least thinking about the future, about where our business is going to go, where our industry is going to go, where we want to go, then we're going to have a hard time competing with those people who not only think about that stuff, but start taking action towards those things. And I want you to be successful. I want you to succeed. I want to give you the tools that you need to succeed. And I think that one of those tools is the ability, or at least the thought, of looking into the future. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will speak to you soon. Let's build a better world together.